Good evening, board members. Thank you for taking the time this afternoon to hear me speak a little bit about maker spaces and the maker movement and what that really means and what impact it could have on us as a school district. So what is the maker mentality? What is the maker movement? It's based around the idea that learning by doing is a very effective way to instill learning in kids. The other thing about the maker movement is the opposite. It is student led, generated and student led. So much of our teaching right now is teacher mandated and then teacher enforced. A makerspace is a safe spot where kids can bring the ideas. They can be the ones who put a project together and really create it. So let's say a student wants to create buttons or even a hat that he can change the LED colors on. So he would let me know that. We go about getting the materials together. Then that student is responsible for creating the hat or the button, and that student is responsible for the programming to get the lights to do what he wants them to do. So it starts with maybe just an idea, and the student had the idea, and the student is the one who will be the one to bring it to fruition. So it takes the adults a little bit into the background, gives kids a little more onus. And if you think about it, this fits in very well with many different learning theories, from constructivism to constructionism to a Montessori model. These are based on the ideas that the most realistic learning happens in a student's mind and is not put into the student's mind. So this is the ultimate real life example of that type of constructionist learning, where the kids are learning by doing. So the maker movement, it can be anything from super low tech to college hacker clubs could be considered part of the maker movement, and anything in between. But it is student generated and student led with minimal adult supervision and helping. The idea is to get them to do it by themselves. Like I said, it certainly falls right in line with many learning theories, from Piaget to Prepare, Montessori. It's legitimate, and it can definitely help with Common Core. It is not going to go against Common Core. It's not something outside of the curriculum. This can all dovetail nicely with what we're expected to do anyway. From the book Design, Make, Play, I would like to read the following. The 2010 International PISA test scores. U.S. students scored 23rd in science and 31st in math among the countries taking the test. So we've got these results where in STEM we are not doing as well as a country as we would expect to do. Well, most of the maker projects are STEM oriented. And what we're going to do is we can talk about STEM and then STEAM, which is just STEM with an A for the arts. The maker movement is a real great blend of all of them together to make STEAM instead of STEM. So it's a little bit cutesy, but it actually works really well if you think about it. So you've got this combination of maker projects where students are doing the hands-on work. They have to do the math behind it. If it's computer programming, they're programming. We've got things you can buy very easily and cheaply. Little bits, you put it out. The kids do their own circuit work. So it doesn't take a lot of teacher time. Most of the time is in the beginning when you're first putting it together. So the maker movement is really widely considered to be a big boost for STEAM and STEM in our students for hopefully the next generation, where this catches on. And these kids are learning in a hands-on, very real way. They're learning a lot about STEAM. They're learning a lot about STEM. And quite frankly, you can outlay quite a bit for a laser printer or a 3D printer or a laser cutter, but you don't even need that stuff in the beginning. You can start much cheaper, much lower tech, get these kids involved, get them in, whether it's the library or a classroom, get them in there doing stuff on their own, generating their own ideas, fixing things, making things, programming things. The STEM and STEAM learning is going to happen. The cost does not have to be that excessive. You need a couple motivated teachers or librarians to put it together. So I would like, if you have more questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them. But think about it a little bit. maker spaces are coming, and we should be ahead of the curve on them. Thank you very much for your time.